All right, guys, this is going to be a super quick video. I'm just going to be sharing what works with me. So hopefully you guys get something good out of this. But one of the only things that is limiting me when it comes to getting even bigger in the gym is my recovery. And it really does just boil down to not getting enough hours of sleep. Okay, so I'm waking up and I'm feeling groggy. I'm dragging my feet. I feel the need to stay in bed, but I can't actually get back to sleep. So working out in some instances, it's almost like a bad thing. It's like having this negative impact on my life. And so the two things that I have found that really negate this issue and allow me to keep pushing and getting even bigger and stronger in the gym when it comes to my recovery is going to be time in the sauna and yoga, specifically yin yoga. Okay, so very long, deep poses, and holding those poses for up to like 2 or 3 minutes at a time. And when you pair yin yoga with sitting in the sauna, ideally you meditate while you're in the sauna, it really does just turn all those engines off, right? And I find that after a good yoga session, I might not be ready to go to sleep. Oftentimes I will be, but I might not be ready to go to sleep. But that like groggy, kind of like wired and tired feeling, gone, right? I am maybe not 100%, but that like inclination to complain and to feel kind of bitter about my mood, at least for the day, it's gone after I do yoga. And it makes it a lot easier to carry on doing the things that I know I need to do. It makes it a lot easier to get into the gym, and it makes it a hell of a lot easier to get to sleep, right? I will say on top of those things, I mean, there's a ton of evidence. I'm not using this video to shove evidence down your throat. You can find the evidence. But when you put the sauna and yoga together, at least in my own experience, I knock out and I stay asleep for at least like an extra 30 minutes to like an hour and a half sometimes, right? It's the difference between, feeling like I didn't get enough sleep and feeling well rested, just taking the hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours to just dedicate to recovery. But I think I think once you get to a certain point in the gym, recovering becomes almost a full-time thing, the same way that working out is a full-time thing. You spend like an hour and a half, 2 hours in the gym, you're going to have to spend like an hour and a half, 2 hours recovering. And then of course, obviously nutrition, right? I find that really just keeping substances out of my body. I used to think that weed was okay, but weed messes with my sleep more than anything else. And sleep is one of the most important factors in recovery. Like the yoga and the sauna really, in my mind, just make it easier to get to sleep and stay asleep, outside of all the other awesome benefits that they have. But main reason for me why I use them, those are the only buttons that actually work when it's time for me to go to sleep, besides like taking a pharmaceutical drug. So that's not the idea, and we don't want to do that. But yeah, just cutting out substances, no liquor, no weed, keep it light on the caffeine. If you feel good when you wake up, I find that drinking caffeine on those days just makes me anxious, right? If I feel well rested and then I add caffeine on top, thinking that I'm like getting some like super stack going on, I'm going to be like hella productive because, I got the sleep. All I find is that it makes me like jittery and anxious, right? Caffeine really only works when I'm not like fully alert, fully awake. It gets me that like extra mile that I need to go. So just keep it light on the stimulants. Only take what is necessary. Don't think you're going to get a better experience if you're already kind of stimulated and then you add a stimulant on top of that. It just makes it worse. And yeah, eat the protein. Protein. That's going to be pretty much everything that I know when it comes to recovery. I am not the biggest guy ever, but I'm not a small person either. And again, just going back and looking at those instances where I was really pushing myself in the gym, the only way I was able to sustain those like months on end of just hammering weights is dedication to the sauna, pretty consistent routine when it comes to like deep stretches, releasing all the tension that I'm building up with the weights, and then staying on top of my nutrition. I would also recommend taking multivitamins. I use AG1. Take your fish oils, and then just stay away from weed. Weed is I think it is much more detrimental than a lot of people let on when it comes to your recovery, because it does just mess with your REM sleep. So that's all that I have for you guys. Hopefully you got something good out of this. That's all. Yeah, that's all I have to say. So you guys have anything to say, leave me a comment, give me some feedback. Let me know if I could say things in a way that makes more sense, or maybe I didn't mention something that you think is super awesome for recovery. Let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like, share this with a friend, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And that's all that I have. Later.